Hey guys, it's me Sam and welcome to, well, I wouldn't say it's a new series of videos that I will be doing because I've done some of these stories previously in the past. I've discovered that a lot of you really used to actually enjoy my ghost stories. And I thought, you know what, what's to stop me from doing them again? So that's what this new series is going to be. I will be releasing ghost stories from around the world, and this video today is the first of them. And in this story we will be discussing the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. As I've done so in the past previously, I always like to give a little bit of history about the property and the characters, or I should say the ghosts' lives, because we have to remember, once upon a time they were living, breathing human beings. So it's just nice to give a little bit of background story as to who they were and how they met their deaths. So let's begin. Raynham Hall is a beautiful country house found in the county of Norfolk here in England. The estate of Raynham Hall covers 7,000 acres, and the hall itself is one of the oldest buildings in Norfolk. For nearly 400 years it has been the home of the Townsend family, and it is currently occupied by Charles, the 8th Marquis Townsend, and his second wife, Alison. Construction on the house began in 1622 under the instruction of its then owner, Sir Roger Townsend. He was an English politician that sat in the House of Commons between 1621 and 1629. So that would have been during the period of James I. He was very much an esteemed person due to his charity work, and by the time of his death on the 1st of January 1637, at the age of only 41, the construction of Raynham Hall was almost complete. Over time, additions have been made to the property, and it is reputed to be haunted by its very own Brown Lady. Before I move on to the accounts of those that have witnessed the Brown Lady, I thought it would be a good idea to give a breakdown of who she is meant to have been in her life. But firstly, let's begin with her husband. In 1674, Lord Charles Townsend was born at Raynham Hall and succeeded his father to the peerage of 2nd Viscount Townsend at the age of 13. It was then that he was taken in by his guardian, Colonel Robert Walpole, the father of the future Prime Minister Robert Walpole, and his sister, Lady Dorothy, who was the 13th child born in 1686. Little is known about Dorothy's early life, but around the age of 10 or 11 years she fell in love with Charles, and he, returning her feelings, asked Colonel Robert for her hand in marriage. Lady Dorothy's father refused to do so, not because of her age, as it was pretty much the norm in that period to get married young. Girls could get married at the age of 12 and boys were allowed to marry at the age of 14, although their marriage would not have been consummated until much later on in life. Now the reason why Colonel Roberts said no was because he did not want others to think he was taking advantage of his guardianship of Charles for his own self-interest. This left poor Charles completely heartbroken, so instead he very soon married Elizabeth Pelham instead. But unfortunately, despite bearing him 5 children, she died in 1711, leaving Charles a widow and alone to care for their children. Eventually he was reunited with Dorothy, and with permission from her brother Robert, They married in a magnificent ceremony at Raynham Hall in 1713. Their marriage appeared to be a very happy one, and together they had 7 children, with 6 of them reaching adulthood. However, what Charles did not know was that during their time apart, Dorothy is reputed to have become the mistress of the renowned Lord Wharton, a known womanizer. And when Charles found out, he flew into a terrible rage and had Dorothy locked within her apartments at Raynham Hall and forbade her from ever seeing her children ever again. Dorothy is said to have been very badly treated and remained in prison for the rest of her life until her death at the age of 40 on the 29th of March 1726. Although her death was reportedly caused by smallpox, many believe that she died either from a broken heart or from a broken neck after being pushed on the main staircase. However, papers discovered in the 1960s prove that she actually lived a very happy life up until her death and was very much loved. The first recorded sighting of the Brown Lady was during a Christmas gathering in 1835 held by Lord Charles Townsend. A different one, in case you're wondering. He wasn't incredibly ancient. It was a descendant of his. Luca Seastone and a Colonel Loftus were amongst those invited to the Christmas gathering, and one evening after playing chess, the 2 gentlemen decided to retire to bed. On the way to their bedrooms, they noticed the outline of a woman wearing an old-fashioned brown dress standing in the doorway of one of the rooms. Suddenly, she disappeared into thin air. The following evening, Colonel Loftus saw the same figure again, but this time he was able to study her appearance more closely and recognised her as being Lady Dorothy from a portrait that hung in his bedroom. According to Colonel Loftus, she appeared to have an aristocratic bearing about her, but to his horror, her eyes appeared to have been gouged out and her face was glowing. After this, interest in the Brown Lady grew, and in 1836 Captain Frederick Marryat, a friend of the novelist Charles Dickens, visited Raynham as a part of a hunting party. Marryat was a sceptic, and he was determined to prove that the haunting was just a hoax that had been made up by local smugglers who wanted to keep people away from the area. It is said that Marryat requested sleep in the haunted room to prove his theory, and he spent 2 nights in that room where he encountered absolutely nothing. But on the 3rd night, that was all to change. Whilst on his way back to the room that night, after speaking with 2 other gentlemen in regards to pistols that they had recently brought and getting Marryat's opinions on them, they came across the Brown Lady as she glided down the corridor towards them carrying a lantern. Marryat instantly recognised her from the portrait of Lady Dorothy that hung in his room, and he demanded her to halt so as to ask her why she was there. The Brown Lady did indeed halt, grinning at him in such a malicious and diabolical manner. This angered Marryat so much that he pulled out his pistol and shot at her in the face. With that, the figure vanished, and a bullet of the gun was found in the woodwork beyond where she had stood. Marryat never stepped foot in Raynham Hall again after that. The Brown Lady was next seen in 1926 by Lady Townsend and her son. They claimed to have seen her on the main staircase and also identified her from her portrait. 10 years later, Captain Hubert Prevand, a London-based photographer, was taking photographs at Raynham Hall for an article to be featured in the Country Life magazine. Along with his assistant Indra Shearer, they claimed that they had already taken 1 photo of the hall's main staircase and were setting up to take a second one when Shearer saw a vapory form gradually assume the appearance of a woman moving down the staircase towards them. Shearer instructed Prevand to quickly remove the cap of the lens while he pressed the trigger to activate the camera's flash, and later, when the negative was developed, the famous image of the Brown Lady was revealed. Their account of this ghostly experience was published in Country Life magazine on Boxing Day 1936, along with the infamous photo. Since then, many others have claimed to have seen or felt her presence either on the staircase or in the bedroom in the middle of the night, and it is said that she was sighted again in the 1960s by George, the 7th Marquis Townsend. No one will ever really know the truth of how Lady Dorothy really died, but no matter what, she is still said to haunt Raynham Hall as the Brown Lady, and it is thought that she wanders the hall in search of the children who she dearly loved. It would also appear that the Brown Lady is not alone at Raynham Hall, for it is also said that other apparitions are said to haunt the hall, are a ghostly Cocker Spaniel, 2 children, and the Duke of Monmouth. It's the first of my many ghost stories from around the world. I hope you were suitably petrified. I know Eva was. If you enjoyed this video, please do let me know by leaving your comments down below, and also by giving the video a thumbs up. I have many other stories planned. However, if there is anything in particular you would like me to maybe research into and put together a little story for you, also do let me know. It'd be more than a pleasure. But that's it, guys. Thank you again for watching. You take care now. And I'm off now to console poor Ethel.